Good day, everybody. Welcome to Olga Zakinova's podcast. It was a beautiful idea to create this amazing vision and opportunity that came together. And we're here live today with a wonderful and amazing guest from Sunshine, Florida. And I would like to welcome Olga Zaurova. Olga, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me. It's a
Abs-
true pleasure, Olechka.
Thank you. Well, thank you for taking the time. We definitely had the vision and we planned this very carefully. And I know it wasn't easy, but you pulled it all together and you flew all the way down here to Florida, to New York, from Florida. And to make this happen for our audience, to educate our followers, and to share with them exactly what's happening right now in a beautiful Sunshine State and what is happening right now with the market conditions, how things are changing for good or for bad, and for our audience to understand, is it a good time to buy right now? Is it a good time to invest? And what is happening right now generally, overall, with the market? So let's begin.
Let's do it.
Very good. So, Olga, first of all, I would like to ask you a question. What was the idea in the very beginning of your transition, moving from New York to Florida? Why did you do this?
It's a very interesting question. I've lived in New York for over 20 years, and I never thought I would leave until uh, my husband and I and our two small children got to spend a winter in our condo in Florida. We had a vacation condo in Hollywood Beach, and we spent the winter. And I completely and absolutely fell in love with the weather, with the lifestyle, and I knew that there was no going back to New York for me personally. That I wanted to raise my family there in the Sunshine State, and enjoy the weather throughout the year, and that's how it all started.
Beautiful.
It wasn't planned; it just happened. Very. It wasn't planned.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, do you mean to tell me it was just like very spontaneous decision?
It was a spontaneous decision. I gave birth to two children back to back, and I decided to take a short break from my corporate life in New York City. I used to work for a top global financial institution, and as you know, they only give you 3 months for maternity leave. And I wanted to enjoy my children. So that's how it all
Began.
began. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Olga, you're so good at what you do. And I think this is what really made me follow you for a very long time. I've been watching your journey and how wonderful you are
Thank you.
and how amazing your partner, AKA husband, is,
Thank you.
who is working behind the scenes very hard. And you guys both tirelessly building your empire. I'm very proud of both of you. But this is what made me follow you. I felt like we shared the same vision. We shared the same passion and excitement for real estate. My personal belief is that you don't work a day in your life going to work, treating it like a real work. Like it's not a job, it's not real work. I think it's a passion. And I definitely enjoy what I do. And we talk about this all the time. You know, there is a lot of different interesting moments. And what I would like to say to our audience is that real estate game is not like $1 million listing New York show. It's definitely not. The reality of real estate, we go through many different chapters of many different situations throughout people's lives. And it takes really a very unique person to overcome all these challenges and make it so unique and make their experience is so special. Now, my question, Olga, is what makes you different from other realtors? What makes you unique? And why do you love doing what you do? What drives you?
What makes me unique? Well, there are a lot of realtors who will claim that they're the best in their market. They care about their customers. They provide the best customer service. All these claims are so common they become meaningless. The difference with me is that I bring years of extensive corporate experience from top global financial institutions in New York City. I've been trained on how to handle customer requests and how to answer emails and phone calls within minutes. I I took that experience and I brought it into my real estate business in Florida. Another thing that many people don't know until they start working with me is that my husband Alex is also a licensed realtor, and he has extensive background in marketing and design. He's in charge of all of my marketing campaigns, and that the marketing campaigns that we run uh, give us access to unlisted properties. And quite often we can secure an off-market deal for our clients,
Beautiful.
which have zero competition. So I believe that our backgrounds from different industries makes us really unique, and unlike any other realtor in our market. Let's
Beautiful.
put it this way.
Well, Olga, I will tell you this much that I just recently accomplished my goal that I had on my bucket list to visit Miami, Florida. And I really took the time to spend 1 week, and I had the opportunity to spend a day with you.
Yes.
And I do remember how you really put so much thoughts, effort, and so much love into what we did together within this very, very short couple of hours that you were able to take us around and show properties. Tell me from your experience right now, you've been doing this for so long. What are you seeing right now happening with prices overall in general? Do you think the prices are stable? Do you think they're going down? What is happening with overall the inventory on the market? I know exactly what's happening in New York. In New York, we are very short right now on inventory. We've been talking about it for a very long time now, but now it's the reality where inventory in New York is becoming so limited that with all the changes with rates and all the changes in the marketplace, you would think that the market would start having sellers panic and really dive into the pool of the opportunities to sell, that we will really get overflow of available inventory. But that's not the case in New York. I would like to pick your brain and see, what are you experiencing right now in Florida's market? Do you think the prices are going up, down? Are they leveling off? Do you have a lot of inventory to work with? Please share that with us.
Sure. The market is definitely stabilizing. The prices are stabilizing compared to the pandemic boom. I see a lot of price reductions on the properties that were listed too high from the beginning, and the sellers are more flexible now. It's easier to negotiate with the sellers. However, statistically, the prices are still up in Miami-Dade County. Single-family homes are up 17%. That's the statistics from last September 2022. And condos and townhomes, the prices are up 19%. Having said that, I see a lot of properties coming on the market. We are seeing a lot more inventory than we did last year or even back in the springtime. And we are slowly shifting from the seller's market to the buyer's market. So I predict, or I see a lot more softness in the market, and those people who are really interested in purchasing a property in Florida will see a lot of good deals pretty soon.
Very nice. Very nice. Olga, I know that a lot of my clients here, when they call, I got a phone call today from one of my clients who actually lives 50% in New York, 50% in Florida. And they really retired already. And they're looking to completely like unleash their all investments in New York and really swap everything that they own here into Florida's real estate. And you know how that works. 1031 exchanges is an option. There's definitely an opportunity to do an equal or higher swap. So you have to sell your property as long as it's investment. You're exchanging investment to investment, and that option is definitely open. How do you feel your experience at the moment with 1031 exchange buyers, investors, and those that are looking to buy overall to keep it as a secondary home and or as a primary residence. Can you just dive into that a little bit?
Sure. Well, my specialty is residential real estate in South Florida, and I cover mostly Sunny Isles, Hollywood, Hallandale, Ventura. When it comes to condos and Parkland, Weston, and Boca, if it's single family homes. I work with investors as well, and I've seen and I've worked with a lot of investors who needed to do 1031 exchange. Uh, Typically, they contact me directly through someone they know. I get recommended. People know me already in the industry or other realtors, and I help those investors to secure a few properties. I show them around, as you saw how I work, before they even fly in, or in most cases, they don't even fly into Florida. Once I understand exactly what they want, how much they want to spend, and what area they want to be in, then I start with
Search.
with the search, with offering them the best options. We've had successful 1031 exchange deals recently from clients in California, Chicago, in New York. This is my specialty, really. That's where all of my clients mostly come from. Investors are still very interested in Florida. We have different options. If you want to do Airbnb, we have properties for that. If you want to buy a property for long-term rental, no problem. We have lots of options in different price ranges. That's what I've always been attracted to. South Florida has options for every budget. You want to buy something for a few millions, no problem. You want something for 300,000, 5 minutes away, or even closer, you got it. It all depends on my client's needs, and once I understand them, I deliver.
Beautiful. Well, Olga, I will tell you this much. When I visited Florida, it was really, for me and my husband, I think it was the very first time in the past many years that we haven't traveled together alone. And as you know, that I invest a lot of time, effort, and money into my education. And traveling all over the world, for me, that's been really one of the most important passions that I enjoy, that I invest into my future and invest into my business. And recently, when we traveled to Florida, I feel that my experience was so different and so unique. I really felt having a beautiful sunshine and having the ocean around me that would make me go so loose that I wouldn't be able to concentrate on anything pertaining to business. And I have to honestly tell you, I was so hyped up. Every morning we would wake up, we would run to the beach, and we would just take a dive deep into the ocean. And I love ocean. It just gives me vitamin D, and it just like makes me very, very happy. And so I realized how really productive I was. I felt like in that 1 week, I felt like it was the whole year that went by of so much accomplished in that such a short period of time. And I felt like really what Florida delivers is the lifestyle.
Absolutely.
I think what you sell is a lifestyle. As I'm telling you this, I'm getting like goosebumps all over my body because I feel like people really don't realize and understand that life is very short and we really don't know when the next day goes and how it's going to end. But I really believe that people should enjoy, build into their future, buy a secondary home, and really have the life of a beautiful experience of Sunshine State, right? I feel
I
it's the
absolutely
closest.
agree with you. Time, not money, is the most valuable asset that we have. And I don't know what your reason may be for buying a property in Florida. It could be for investment or for pleasure, for your own enjoyment. But I've been through that myself. I've been in people's shoes, those that decided to buy a property in Florida. So I am able to help them based on my own experience, and I'm happy to share my knowledge. And I truly treat every single one of my clients as a family or a friend. I provide the same um, dedication. You know how I work day and night. I'm on the phone. I answer all the inquiries, and I love what I do. So yes, the lifestyle is amazing, and I see a lot of young couples and young families relocating to Sunshine State. Before it was a retiree state, not anymore, because of the pandemic and the fact that people could work from home. Brought a lot of young families into our neighborhoods, and I see a lot of new trendy restaurants and bars opening up, the daycare centers, extracurriculum activities. It's becoming a lot more fun than it used to years back. So the lifestyle is amazing. The weather is great, and I'm happy to help anyone who is thinking of making that move in that direction.
Beautiful. Olga, my question to you is, I know that right now, because the market is so like uncertain, there is a lot of uncertainty in the air. As a professional, what would be your number one advice that you would give to anybody who is looking right now to invest and buy into Florida's real estate market?
My number one advice
Yes.
is to follow your heart. Yes, you should analyze the market. You should do your own research. You need to partner up with experienced realtor, but ultimately, you need to figure out for yourself what it means for you to have a property in Florida where you can go on a short getaway with your loved one or with your family, and it's a short flight from New York if you're talking about New York buyers. So follow your heart, and there will always be ups and downs in the market. But the experiences you're gonna get out of living in that property or having it as a vacation, do you put a price on it?
Absolutely not.
You can't.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, Olga, people mix you and me a lot.
yeah, I know. To Olga Z's.
To Olga Z's, and this is very interesting, very strange, but we are like really around the same age. Yes.
Yes.
We are both Olga Z's. We both have husbands that work with us.
Yes.
I mean, we have so much in common.
We do.
And people definitely, a lot of times just mix us up, right? And sometimes I get an email and I read anything pertaining to Florida in my emails. I'm like, this is not pertaining to me.
They probably start typing in the email Olga Z,
Exactly.
and your name comes
So
up.
a lot of times people definitely mixing us up, and I think this is how our journey really began, because people started mixing us up. And I had an opportunity recently, just would like to share my experience and story, how I walked into the store. It was fairly a very high-end store, where the salesperson discovered very quickly that my taste and my passion for certain products was very different and unique. And within very short moments, she asked me, "What do you do for a living?" And I said, "I actually sell real estate in New York." And she said, "Oh, I have a condo in Florida."
I think I know the story.
I would like to sell it. My mom just recently, retired, and she's no longer living there. I would like to sell it. And I quickly turned around and I said, "Oh, I have a wonderful broker that is really amazing. She's just as great as I am." I said, "Do you mind if I'm going to make a connection?" And right there on the spot, she said, "Yes." And I called you instantly. You picked up. We made that connection.
Yes.
Alicia flew down to Florida. You spent so much time with her. You definitely, and Alex, made a beautiful presentation on her property. I know that it wasn't easy. There were some moments of inspection that really came across that needed to be addressed. But in
Two
the
contracts were canceled, but I'm sorry to interrupt. Yes, go ahead.
So I remember that experience was very, very seamless. And yes, we go through ups and downs where things don't work out right away, very quickly. the way we would like
Yes.
it to be on $1 million listing New York show, right?
Right, right. But we don't give up.
We don't give up.
We have to finish our job.
And you remained relentless and
Yes.
you remained consistent. And my client really was very excited and very passionate with the outcome.
Yes, she was very happy, I remember.
And I feel like this was a true example of what the real estate relationship and transactions should be. I feel like in the end of the day, people do have a vision, people do have a passion, people do have certain dreams of an American dream, we should say it, to buy real estate in America that's called an American dream. I mean,
Right.
today I had a closing. I gave the keys to a
Congrats.
buyer. Thank you. And the wife broke into tears.
Oh,
And I'm very emotional. And, we hugged. And, this is really a very emotional moment
it is.
where if anybody would ask me, like, what is one of the most important factors that drives you to do what you do through all the very challenging moments where sometimes we send out contracts and buyer is so enthusiastic and asking for the contracts and the offer is accepted and the negotiations are done. And then when it's time to make a commitment of saying, yes, I do, they just disappear.
Yes.
And that is the moment where I would say that's not my favorite moment. This is the moment where I feel like a lot of agents, when they're joining this field, need to clearly understand that this is not always the sugar
Yeah.
and oranges and apples and sweetness. We go through a lot of ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And I think that we both deliver great quality, white glove customer service. We take a great pride with what we do. We take a great pride of how we market our properties. I got a phone call yesterday from a client who was telling me that he actually signed an agreement and his property is not sold for the past 6 months. And I started looking up the information and I noticed that he was never even on the market.
Are you kidding me?
He was never even on the market. And I said, look, it's very simple. You either do it the right way and you do it the right way. You give us a call. We meet up. We determine what needs to be done. We stage the property. We paint the property. We clean up the property. I don't tolerate unprofessional photography. I don't tolerate unprofessional pictures. And with everything that you've done for Celicia's apartment was so tastefully done that it resulted in a very good offer and a
Yes.
very good buyer.
We staged it virtually, actually, thanks to my husband. The apartment was empty, if you remember.
Yes.
But it looked amazing. And we got a full asking, I believe, or even higher than that. And she was very happy.
Well, right now we
But-
have a lot of people moving in and out of state. And with COVID, I noticed and witnessed a lot of people running away from vertical lifestyle of New York City,
Right.
running to Florida. This was a new trend. What did you witness that happened during COVID? And what did you witness happening with your market for the past 2 years? Did you guys enjoy all this madness and craziness and all this property prices that were artificially escalating without any meaning to actual dollar sign? Or do you enjoy the moment right now where we could take actually a deep breath, be in the office and peacefully do some work
Yes.
and really not run around and lose our minds? Please share that experience.
2021 was a crazy year for us. It was the best year for me in my 8-year career in real estate. It was the busiest, it was the craziest, and the most successful. And yes, I'm glad things have calmed down. This craziness is gone. Prices are going to where they
Level-
need to be.
Leveling off.
Exactly. And yes, it was crazy times. I hope they will never repeat.
Yes. And now we're seeing a lot of buyers coming back to New York. A lot of probably those properties will be rented out.
Actually, I haven't, no one out of my clientele went back
To New York.
to New York. No, whoever bought with me, they love it there. And they're holding on. Most of them got their properties at a very good price during at the start of the pandemic when everything froze. We were talking about 2020.
Right.
The world kind of froze, and people didn't know what was happening, and the real estate market froze. I'm not sure what happened in New York, but in Florida, people, those who decided to take a step and buy, they got amazing deals. And then after 2020, the prices skyrocketed. But I don't know any clients who left. They remained.
Beautiful. Let's talk about your kids a little bit.
Oh.
How much do they enjoy living in Florida? How do you? Well, I came to you and I saw your view. I was like, wow, this is a dream come true. Because now when you take pictures and you're posting them, I could recognize the angle in the corner where we stood outside of your balcony.
Yes. My boys. It's funny. They're in Brooklyn now. And one of my neighbors in Florida, whom I never met, she's my Facebook friend, this older lady. She texts me on Facebook saying, "Oh, I think I saw your children on Emmons Avenue in Brooklyn." When I posted that I was somewhere in Queens, I said, yes, the whole community, we have a big condo, 800 apartments on the ocean in Hollywood. Everybody knows them. They're great. They love it there. I brought them here in November. They're a little overwhelmed with the weather. They're dreaming of seeing the snow. They never saw snow.
Wow.
But I don't think we'll see it during this trip. But they're great.
Well, I think you got very lucky, Olga, because when you first arrived, I told you it's really cold here.
Yes.
But I think the weather has been working in your favor. And today is like almost 60 degrees. So it definitely is coming together with a nice, beautiful sunshine. So listen, I would like to wrap up. I think we've spent really great time together.
Yes.
And I would like to go back to our audience and see if anyone has any questions and if anybody has any concerns and if anybody would like to, just address anything that they would like me and Olga to cover. As we are right now live, I definitely would like to see what is people questioning, if there is anything that people have questions or comments about. Okay, well, I have really good positive stuff going on here, but I don't have any questions. Okay, so I guess people don't have any questions. Well, let's wrap up because I feel like we have more things to cover on the video that's coming up soon. And so if anybody has any questions, we will definitely be posting our information below in this post. And if anyone has any questions, we welcome all of the calls. We would like to dive deeper into everyone's personal situation. Anybody that's looking to buy in Florida or to sell in New York, we definitely work hand in hand with Olga together. And a lot of our clients, if they're looking to sell in New York and buy in Florida, we will definitely manage very well how it could be incorporated and seamlessly presented to potential sellers in Florida that it becomes an attractive deal. Okay? So we will definitely be posting our personal information. And I would like to thank our audience for joining us today. I think it was a lot of fun. And hopefully this is one of many more. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you.